Hey, and welcome to the Luxious. Today we're going to talk about the top holiday destinations for 2021. 2020 has been quite a year in every negative manner possible. But now in 2021, with COVID finally losing the war, we can assume that people will be looking to travel and get out of the bubble they had to live in. So with that in mind, here are our top destinations if you're looking to travel in the coming months. With its eccentric old world image and haunting blackwater cypress swamps, Charleston has long topped many must-visit lists. But now is the time for the South Carolina city to face up to its difficult history, shake off the genteel southern charm facade, and re-emerge as a place that thoughtfully confronts its truthful narrative. As the capital of the North American slave trade, Charleston saw as many as 100,000 Africans enter via Gadsden's Wharf. This is where the International African American Museum will sit when it opens in 2022, after more than 2 decades of planning and passionate fundraising. Until then, a growing number of eye-opening tours are shining a light on the city's challenging past, including those run by the McLeod Plantation, which focus on the quarters where enslaved people lived, rather than the grand home that belonged to the white owners, and gala tours, which provide an insight into the Black history of Charleston. Black-owned businesses, many of which have previously been priced out of the city, are coming to the fore more than ever too, especially thanks to initiatives such as Black Food Fridays, launched by local entrepreneur KG Carney, who has also created a map of Black-owned restaurants in and around Charleston. Included are soul food mainstay Hannibal's Kitchen, which has been serving fried shark and sauteed crab over grits for decades, the upscale Savi Cucina in Mount Pleasant, and Nigel's Good Food, known for its low country ravioli, baked turkey wings, and gravy. Yum! The city is also considering how best to rework its popular wine and food festival, consulting with neighborhood chefs to better tell the narrative of the region's Gullah Geechee food traditions. Filled with misty cloud forests, belching volcanoes, and surf-pummeled beaches, Costa Rica is at the cutting edge when it comes to sustainable tourism. A long-standing focus on lodges with feather-light footprints and a strong commitment to genuinely effective eco-initiatives make the Central American country one thing above all: green. Tucked between the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, the country is home to more than 6% of the world's biodiversity. That's more than the US and Europe combined. It also produces almost 99% of its electricity from renewable resources and aims to become one of the first countries to achieve zero carbon emissions by 2050. Now that's a noble goal. It is so unwaveringly green, in fact, that it has been recognized by the Global Sustainable Tourism Council for its muscular conservation efforts. There are plenty of chances to get off the well-trodden track here. Pick your way through the forests of the remote Osa Peninsula, where tapirs snuggle alongside red-eyed tree frogs, armadillos, and kinkajous. Or visit the Guatuso Indigenous Reserve in the north, home to the country's smallest tribe of indigenous people, the Maleku. The tribe has developed tours, hikes, and sunset theater productions to share with visitors. They will gladly guide guests through their land, sharing knowledge of medicinal plants and native wildlife, from bright-billed toucans to rambunctious monkeys. Hammerheads, whitetips, and bull sharks can be spotted in the surrounding seas. If that's not your cup of tea, you can kayak the sultry mangroves in search of wily caimans and sleepy sloths in the low-hanging branches. Nyara Tented Camp, which opened late last year, is surrounded by hills that act as a sloth refuge. While long-standing eco-lodges Pacuare and Lepa Rios run pioneering jaguar conservation efforts and host future lab stations where visiting researchers and interns share their jungle knowledge with guests. Now moving on to Mexico, where Oaxaca's heritage runs through the lifeblood of the city, with everything from its food to its textiles steeped in tradition. It is no surprise then that chefs, artisans, and designers flock to its rainbow-hued streets to sample spices, finely made handicrafts, and lashings of mezcal. Last summer, cactus and white stone minimalist Casa Criollo opened on the same site as the much-lauded Enrique Olvera restaurant. More recently, Escondido, Oaxaca, from beloved Mexican brand Habita, launched its latest design-focused hotel with old world meets modern grandeur vibes. Further afield an hour south of Puerto Escondido, in the fishing village of San Agustinio, you'll find Monte Azulo, 11 boho rooms by architect Mariana Ruiz and other designers. With sun-slathered terraces and rooms filled with macuili wood furniture, colorful cotton textiles, and intricate basketwork handmade by local craftspeople. And although Oaxaca is Mexico's mezcal heartland, with snuggled-away bars filled with 100-strong libraries of the spirit, a new trend for corn whiskey is also muscling in. Distillers are buying up native corn from indigenous small plot farmers in the Central Valleys and turning it into a more mellow drink. Now the Berkshires might not have the flashy allure of the Hamptons, but this once down on its luck corner has been slowly reinventing itself, emerging as an arty refuge for creatives from the busy surrounding cities. Thundering across Massachusetts' undulating western stretches, the mountainous region is where avant-garde culture meets farm-to-table dining. Once home to free-roaming bison and expansive untapped wilderness, the breezy Berkshires now shelter pockets of farmland, New England autumn foliage, and picturesque towns to rejuvenate burnt-out weekenders. The former industrial cotton mill city of North Adams is quickly settling into its new creative identity. Home to a sparky food scene, cool new places to stay, and art establishments such as Mass Mocha, it also has plans for museums by Frank Gehry and Jean Nouvel, a 110-room hotel, and a wave of exciting new restaurants. In nearby Williamstown, you'll find the Clark Art Institute, where classic Renaissance pieces rub up against outre modern sculptures. One of the coolest places to stay in North Adams is Tourists, a mid-century motor lodge turned contemporary rustic chic hotel, with a restaurant serving up food inspired by Native American, Welsh, Italian, and Lebanese cultures. Just out of town, life has been breathed back into Greylock Works, a farmer mill now hosting yoga classes, farmers markets, and DJs with a hotel to come. Put frankly, Australia has taken a battering in 2020, with hotels, lodges, and campsites poised to reopen. After some of the worst wildfires in modern history, the whole country was forced to retreat into strict lockdown when the coronavirus pandemic struck. Clinging to the far northwestern reaches of Australia, the Kimberley is a sparsely settled place, where the dusk glows blood red and aquamarine seas are teeming with sharks and saltwater crocodiles. Vast landscapes make this one of the most enticing adventure spots for 2021. The region is almost 3 times the size of England, with fewer people per square meter than almost any other place on Earth. Whether you're heli hiking to uncover ancient rock art, driving along the winding Gibb River Road, or being pummeled by the waters of the mighty horizontal falls, marvel at the fact that these stirring landscapes have been well trodden by Australia's first peoples for tens of thousands of years. So there you have it, folks. We sure hope you've been successful coming out of the pandemic both physically and mentally. We live only once, so why not travel and explore? If you liked our video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you get notified whenever we upload our next video. Your valuable suggestions are very important to us, so do post them in the comments section.